everybody. Welcome back to our Ancient Greek series. I'm Ashley Siebenthal with AGC Ancient Greek channel. This is a series of lessons on the Ancient Greek Koine grammar. And for our first lesson today, we will cover the writing of Greek Koine with 2 points, the Greek alphabet, and we will do some drawing. We will try to write the lowercase and capital Greek letters. This first lesson is divided in 2 parts for the sake of being short and profound. And also, I don't want to overwhelm you guys with a lot of information. Better be shorter than very long, and then you get confused and overwhelmed with a lot of information. Let's say hello to our friend Eutychus. He will be accompanying us in this journey with the ancient Greek Koine alphabet. And I also want to introduce you guys to our new friend and new companion in this wonderful and interesting journey with the Greek Koine. Her name is Athena, and she will be giving us some interesting tips and caveats and also precisions that will be useful in our mastering of this ancient language. So by the end of this lesson, I expect you guys to be able to identify any Greek letter, and be it lowercase letter or capital letter. And also, I expect you guys to be able to write any Greek letters, be it capital or lowercase letter. So, let's get right in our lesson for today. Greek alphabet. The Greek alphabet has 24 letters. Here are they. We have here the uncials. Uncials are the capital letters and the lowercase letters and the names of the letters. So let's go over each letter. We have alpha. Let me zoom in. Let me zoom in a little bit. Okay. The first letter is alpha. The capital alpha, lowercase alpha. Beta, capital lowercase. Gamma, that's the third letter. That's the capital. The capital is really weird. And we have the gamma. It's really different from the capital letter of the uncial. Delta is the same. I guess you guys have seen this letter in mathematics. So yeah, this is our delta. This is the lowercase and the capital letter. Epsilon. So you can notice that the capital letters are pretty similar to English capital letters. They are actually more similar to English than the lowercase letters. Well, we have, after epsilon, we have the zeta, zeta, and we have eta. It is pronounced eta. Okay, so the capital letter is like an H, capital H. We have theta, iota. Okay, so make sure you don't confuse the lowercase with the capital. The capital is similar to English, but the lowercase is very typical of Greek, as you can see it. So kappa, pretty similar. Lambda, this is the lowercase letter, lambda. And here, the capital is missing the upper and the long upper part, this one, this extended part. It's like it's been cut off, and then you got the lambda capital letter. It's like a capital V upside down. And we have mu or mu. This is the lowercase letter and a capital. Again, similar to English. We have nu. This is the lowercase. And we have the capital nu, like the English N. And then we have xi. This is a very new letter for us. Xi, xi, okay? And the capital is very different from the lowercase form. Omicron, it's basically the same letter, both capital and a lowercase letter. The only difference is in the size. We have the pi, okay? So for the capital, it's more like squared than the lowercase. We don't have these extended part on the sides, the left and the right sides of the letter for the capital. And we have rho, okay, lowercase rho, okay. So I want you to pay attention to this round circular form of this letter, and the capital is pretty similar to the English. And we have sigma. Notice here that we have two forms or two characters for this letter, and this is how Athena will help us understand these letters. So why do we have two characters? So hello Athena, she's gonna give us some precision. So the fact is, in Greek koine we use sigma. So I would say the closed form of sigma at the beginning or in the middle of a word. If the sigma is at the beginning or in the middle of a word, we use this pretty closed form of the letter sigma. But when the same letter sigma is at the end of a word, we use the open form of sigma. This is open. So this is closed sigma and open sigma. Closed sigma at the beginning or in the middle, closed, okay, in the middle of a word, and open sigma at the end of a word. Here we have three examples. Here we have the letter sigma at the beginning of a word, semeion. That's the Greek word for sign. So here, since it is at the beginning, it will be the closed form. But we have the word thalassa. Here we have double sigma, and they are in the middle, inside of a word. Therefore, they will be in this form, the closed form. And then we have thalassa is a Greek word for sea, the sea. And here we have Jesus, the Greek word for Jesus. And as you can see here, we have a middle sigma at inside of the word. That's the closed. And at the end, it's not a different letter, it's the same letter sigma, but since it is at the end, it has the open form. Thank you, Athena, for this precision. Let's keep on with our letters. So we have tau, the letter tau. The capital letter is pretty similar to the English T. Upsilon, that's the lowercase, and the uppercase, pretty similar to the English Y. And we have phi, or some people would say phi. And this is the lowercase and the capital. So I want you to pay attention to the size and also the other details that distinguish the capital from the lowercase forms. We have chi, or some people would say chi, and here we go. Pretty similar, but the lowercase form has a I would say a strand that's kind of, you know, it's not really straight. It's kind of curved a little bit at the ends. And we have psyopsy. There we go. So the only difference here is not only in the in the size, but also in especially the middle stick. So the middle stick in the lowercase letter is longer than lengthier than the middle stick in the capital case. And we have omega, our omega, the last letter of the Greek alphabet. This is the lowercase letter and the uppercase or capital letter. Okay, so we've seen the 24 letters of the Greek alphabet: alpha, beta, gamma, delta, epsilon, zeta, eta, or eta, theta, 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 iota, kappa, lambda, mu, nu, chi, or chi, omicron, pi, rho, sigma, tau, upsilon, phi, or phi, chi, chi, psi, and psi and omega. Okay, so with the precision of these two sigma forms that is contingent to the position of sigma in a word. Now let's go to practice. Here we have a handwriting form of the Greek letters in lowercase. Okay, so let's try to reproduce them both in lowercase and capital uppercase. Let's go. Mhm. For the alpha, we firstly need to, okay, precise that these three lines will be considered as a line. And this middle line will be our fictive line, our fictive middle line. So in a real situation, it will not be present. Okay, so let's consider these two side lines as forming one line. Okay, so we're just gonna write between the lines. This is the upper line and the lower line and our fictive middle line. So the fictive middle line is like a construction line that will help us uh, locate and place our letters in a proper way. Let's see, for the alpha, the way to write the lowercase alpha, the proper way is to start from the middle line, the fictive line, okay? And you go down. So you make sure that you don't go, okay, further than the, let's say lower than the lower line and further than the middle line. So the alpha circle form is inside the middle line and the lower line. Here we have beta. It goes a little bit over the middle line but stays, okay, on the lower line. For our gamma, it goes under the lower line, goes up to the middle line. Delta goes over the middle line but stays on the lower line. Epsilon, it's totally, okay, bounded by the middle line and the lower line. Okay, we have our zeta. Mm-hmm. That's that. So this is zeta. It goes over the middle line and also under the lower line, but does it touch the upper line? Eta, Okay, it goes a little bit under the lower line. Theta, it goes over the middle line but stays on the lower line. This is our theta. Iota, it's totally squared and limited by the middle line and the lower line. Kappa is the same as iota, so these letters are totally bounded by our fictive middle line and lower line. We have lambda, it goes over the middle line but still does touch, okay, the upper line. And here we have, yep, and it doesn't go under the lower line. So let me correct this. Should not go under the lower line. Should not go below. Okay, sorry. Still goes below. Should stay, okay. Should stay on. Okay, so make sure that this intersection between these two strands of the lambda letter is as close as possible to the middle line. And we have our mu, okay, our mu. There we go. This is our mu. So we have this strand that's longer, it's lengthier than the other one. The other one stays between these two lines, but the first one goes below the lower line. And here we have our nu letter. Okay, so this part is a straight line while this one is a curved one. Very important. And here we have this sharp ending. This is our xi letter, very new, strange, okay, letter, very typical to Greek, and it goes a little bit under below the lower line. We have our omicron. This is how we do it. Okay, omicron is totally bounded, okay, between these two lines. We have our pi. I recommend to start with the top and then to put the okay, the pads, I don't know, the fit, and make sure that it doesn't go under the lower line. Should not go under, should not go below, should stay on the lower line. That's it. Goes a little bit below, so make sure it doesn't go below. There you go. And here we have our letter. This is a very interesting letter. O. It's also very typical to Greek. It's not a P, please. It's not a P. It's more like circular than a P. And our we have these letters. It's actually one letter, but in two forms. Sorry, because okay. So they both scratches the middle line, but they don't go over it, and they scratches and then boom. Yes, and we have the tau. Start with the top and then yes. So this is a beautiful tau. Wow. And we have the upsilon. The upsilon is pretty similar to the nu. The only difference is the bottom. The bottom of the nu is sharp while the bottom of the upsilon is curved. It's a curve. Okay. And we have phi or phi in two forms, but it depends on your preference. It's not really something that depends on the position of the letter. It depends, just depends on your handwriting and your preference. Okay, you can choose this one. I personally prefer this because I can do it in like in one handwriting. I don't have to take off my pencil, my pen of the paper, so I can do it just once. Okay, in one move. So this is the other one. If you do this one, if you prefer it, make sure that the middle line, the stick, goes over the middle line and below under the lower line, but it should not touch. Okay, it should not touch. No, uh, scratch the upper line. We have Kiyokai. This is it. Mm-hmm. Goes a little bit under, and then we have the longer part, this part. And Psy, Psi. So this middle stick will go over the middle line. I'm sorry, it's kind of curved. It's not a curved line. It's not a curve. It's a straight line. But it's still curved. Sorry for that. And the omega, our last letter. There you go. So these are all lowercase letters. For the uppercase letters, pretty easy. We have for the alpha, the uppercase letters, writing the uppercase letters is even easier than the lowercase letters because they, all capital letters, all uppercase letters are, they stayed between the lower line and the upper line. So they stay between these lines. They don't go over uh, any of the lines. They just squared and just bounded by these two lines, the upper line and the lower line. We have our alpha, capital alpha. There you go. This is our capital alpha. Woo woo woo. Okay, make sure it doesn't go below the lower line. Stays between the upper line, the upper and the lower lines. Beta, beautiful beta. Trying to get a beautiful beta. Oh, that's beautiful, but yeah, it's good. And we have our gamma. Our gamma is kind of weird, very different from the lowercase letter. This is our capital or ancho gamma. Delta is literally a triangle. It's literally a triangle. Okay, literally a triangle. So make sure it doesn't go under the lower line. It should stay on the lower line. Okay, good job. And we have epsilon. Basically, it's literally capital E in English. Just make sure that these three lines are of similar, let's say identical length. Okay, and zeta, it's literally a Z, capital Z. Mm-hmm. Good job. And for the capital Eta, it's literally a capital H. So this horizontal line can go a little bit under the middle line, our fictive middle line, or just on the fictive middle line. Okay, so just make sure that it is as close as possible. Okay, as close as possible to the middle line. And we have theta. Theta. Gonna give a big circle here. Okay, that still stays between the upper and lower lines. And here the horizontal line doesn't touch, okay, the sides, the left and right sides of the circle. Okay, so this is like a, let's say, a fragment of line. And iota, a capital I, like a capital I. Okay, that's our iota, capital I. Kappa, capital K. Okay, that fills the entire line. Lambda, lambda is like a capital V upside down. It's not a triangle, please, so don't add this horizontal line. If you do, it will no longer be a lambda but a delta. Mu is basically a capital M. Okay, capital M. Nu, a capital N. Oh, sorry, does it go over the line? It stays between the lines. This is it. There you go. And for our Xi, it's pretty strange. Okay, so it's gonna be the upper line. It's gonna be 3 lines with the middle line shorter than the upper and the lower line. So we have a small middle line and then a similar lower line similar to the upper line. Okay, that's the Xi, the capital Xi. And capital Omicron is just a bigger Omicron that fills the entire line. And pi is also a bigger one, and that is more condensed. There you go. And there is no extended part here. And we have rho. So make sure that you don't confuse the capital O with the English P. And our sigma, so contrary to the lowercase letters, the capital letter is single. There is no other form for the capital letter. Is a unique form. That is this one. And it's literally the sign for I think it's addition in mathematics. So this is our sigma. So you can choose to add these little, like it's like a crotchet, something like that. You can choose, it depends on your preference, or you can just leave it without these little sticks here. And we have the tau, capital tau. Oh, sorry, it's not a curve but a straight horizontal line. Okay, epsilon is basically literally the English Y, capital Y. Okay, and we have the phi of phi. for the phi of phi, it's like, let's say, a big one, a little bit. We're just gonna leave some space for, you know, this part. That's it. Okay, it fills the entire line. And then we have chi key, that is literally a capital X that fills the entire line. Okay, and we have C, and the difference is that the middle line is as tall as the side lines. Okay, that's very important. And we have omega. There you go. Woohoo, woohoo. Oh, there you go. So you've done a great job. This is it. The Greek alphabet, the Greek letters from alpha to omega, capital case, capital letters, and lowercase letters. Very important. So we still need some precision with Athena. So make sure, you guys make sure that you don't confuse these Greek letters to the English letters. Like Ada is not to be confused with N. The only difference is that this part of the Ada, okay, is longer than the other part. Well, the English N, they are like in the English N, they are similar in length. Yoda, the Yoda doesn't have a dot, while the English I does. The Nu, the only difference, they are pretty similar. The difference is the right strand of the Nu Greek is curved, while in the English V, they're like two straight lines that meet at the bottom. Okay, the Rho Greek, okay, is pretty circular. Okay, while the P, the English P, it's kind of circular, but it's more like a a semicircle, okay, with a straight line, straight vertical line. And we have the upsilon, the Greek upsilon, okay, and the English upsilon, the English U, I'm sorry, so has kind of a straight, okay, a straight line on the left side, on the right side, sorry, it's on the right side here, and this side is curved, but this one is kind of uh yeah, it's kind of straight, while for the Greek upsilon, it's totally curved. Okay, so this is all for today, for this first part of lesson 1, how to write Greek. I hope you enjoyed, and don't forget to like and subscribe to this YouTube channel in order to receive up-to-date lessons, and that will be very useful in your mastering of ancient Greek grammar. Koine. Goodbye and see you soon for How to Write Greek Part 2.